My name is Nick, and we're on Salt Spring Island. And this is a boat top wagon that I first built about 10 years ago and just recently restored and renovated. Somebody else was living in it for years, and then they left the island, and I kind of regained possession of it, and it was in pretty rough shape, and I never actually got to finish it, so I just wanted to complete it and get it in a really good state so that it would last a number of years. Growing up, basically for my whole childhood, I was a tree fort builder, just building tree forts with my buds in the woods. And then as a teenager, I got out of it and I moved to the city. So then I got my first job as a carpenter's assistant doing like heritage restoration in Victoria, basically. So that kind of introduced me to like Victorian style building, which has been a pretty big influence on my style, I think. I had another teacher as well. On Vancouver Island, I worked for a framing company. And then after that, I just kind of went on my own and started doing jobs for people, and now I just build tiny ones. It's on a 17-foot trailer, and it's a modified boat trailer. And it's 8 feet wide at the center of the barrel, but maybe about 7 feet wide at the base. The original roof for the tiny house was like a traditional bow top wagon, and it was made of canvas. But for this build, I was trying to make an amalgamation of a bow top wagon with the traditional style and a tiny house, because I wanted windows on the sides, which is not possible with a canvas roof or with a barrel shape, really. So it has dormers on it for that. But the dormers made it pretty difficult to waterproof the canvas roof. So this time I went with sheet metal, 26 gauge sheet metal. And then the entire interior, just to keep it light, I used 1x1 cedar from the mill and then resawn into 3/8, so split open like that, and then planed so it's just below 3/8 of an inch thick all over the interior. So yeah, the whole building is made of cedar just to keep it light. Floor is salvaged oak, but it's also a 3/8 oak flooring. You come in the front door, which is a Dutch door, so you can hang out at the front door, you know, like a leaning sort of vibe. The kitchen is here on the left. I made it sort of a round island sort of style just to try and get as much space out of this small space as possible. Then the pantry and fridge are on the right, followed by the coat closet. So there's a desk here, and it has a secondary desk on top so you can stand and work. Then there's the wardrobe and the fireplace on the left. The wood stove is an antique potbelly stove from Sears. The primary heat source is the wood stove, although there's plenty of space in the circuits to have like an oil radiator or like an extra heater. And the couch in the back is just a fold-out bed. The wiring is just 110 volt to a small panel. Yeah, all in all, it's pretty simple system-wise, pretty basic. The water system is pretty simple as well. There's just a fitting on the outside that you can connect a hose to, and it runs through into the sink. The wastewater comes out with a direct pipe that you can attach your wastewater system to from the outside or from below. The main storage for things that you don't want to ever see basically is under the couch, and it's accessible from the rear of the exterior. I didn't want to see it on the inside, you know, I wanted to see like nice cedar under the couch rather than junk. There's lots of pantry space in the kitchen, and basically there's just one big sort of armoire for the clothes and different things like that. The siding is beveled cedar siding, and it's from the original build. That's one of the only things that you can see on this build that is original, aside from the porch, which actually folds up, by the way, and hides the trailer hitch. All the windows are new. They used to be like reclaimed windows from houses in Vancouver, I guess, that were torn down. But now they're custom built for this so that they kind of fit in better. And the door is original as well, actually. I built that like 10 years ago. And that's all from reclaimed fur. I think most of the reclaimed stuff that's still on it from before was kind of out of like dumpsters from Vancouver alleyways and stuff like that. So that door's made out of that. A traditional bow top wagon is just a straight barrel that goes all the way back, and it'll have a nice big window at the back and then some sort of Dutch door or double door in the middle of the front. But they're pretty dark and typically not insulated as well, just like single wall. So maybe you get a bit of light through the canvas, but this one is insulated. The circle is a pretty amazing way to make it light. Like if you make a beam that's circular like this, it can be very, very thin, and it wouldn't pass code, but I can stand on it, and it's such lightweight framing. But the arch is just so strong that it's a really good way to build a tiny house. I built the front and back wall first, just to have like the form of the barrel up, you know? And then I took 20-foot 2x2s and ran them from one to the other across the entire barrel, like. And then I rebuilt new wooden beams on the inside to strengthen it and to look like a traditional caravan. So the last tiny house that I sold, someone was really interested, but it had just sold the day before. So I had mentioned that I was restoring this and that it would be available in a few months. And he agreed to buy it. So I started kind of like building it specifically for him and setting it up so that he could just move in nice and have everything he needs in there. I build tiny homes for a living now. It did take a number of years to get to the place that I am. I had to basically build a few tiny houses on all used materials and like no budget so that I could sell those two and have enough money to start my company. But now that I've done that, I have the capital to build tiny homes just from my designs with no client until the very end when I can just sell it as a finished product. And it's been fabulous. I guess it's just really nice for people to be able to own their own homes. You know, it's like maybe something people used to take for granted, but not that many people can do it now. And I guess the tiny home movement is really good for that. It can be kind of difficult to live in a small house sometimes, but smaller houses are more sustainable, easier to heat too.
Subscribe to Exploring Alternatives and check out our playlists for more videos like this. You can also follow Nick on Instagram at k.knack. Thanks for watching.